A tough year for the flu.
A huge influx of pediatric patients coming into our hospital and filling our emergency departments with influenza and RSV.
The death toll rises, and dozens of young children are in hospital. Plus, Alberta leads the nation in job growth.
We had a much stronger jobs report than we were expecting, and starting to be a bit of a trend.
A closer look at some surprising numbers. And looking ahead to the World Cup. The draw is made for the games Canada will host.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news. With Tara Nelson. Reporting tonight, Ian White.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us. Doctors and pharmacists are urging Albertans to get vaccinated as flu cases surge. Experts warn low vaccination rates could lead to more severe illnesses and put pressure on hospitals this winter. Mark Villani has more from healthcare professionals and how the province is responding.
With family gatherings around the table and Christmas parties in full swing, it's known as the most wonderful time of the year, but not for everyone.
This is the worst part of the year for pediatrics. We see a huge influx of pediatric patients coming into our hospital.
Alberta's positivity rate for influenza is up more than 5 times in just the last month, accounting for more than 2,000 lab-confirmed cases, 519 hospitalizations, including 31 in the ICU, and 15 deaths. The Calgary zone is seeing the brunt of it all. More than half of these cases are here.
Sometimes they can get some bad pneumonias out of the influenza as well, and that's where we get concerned because they have need for oxygen.
The flu is also starting to spread in Calgary schools. The Calgary Catholic School District confirmed 8 of its 122 schools have absentee rates of more than 10% due to illness. Experts point to low vaccination rates.
We're actually trending even below last year's record low levels.
The vaccination rate is below 20% in Calgary for kids 6 months to 11 years old. The lower northeast part of Calgary is the lowest at 6.2%. Numbers that some say are trending in the wrong direction.
We lost over 200 Albertans last year. And to put that in perspective, before the pandemic, the average loss of life to flu was about 40 to 45 cases.
And some pharmacists are giving out less vaccines, calling on the province to provide stronger messaging.
I'm not sure what's going on, if it's vaccine fatigue still left over from COVID, or if it's a bit of miscommunication or misunderstanding.
But the province says its vaccine messaging is strong and that influenza and RSV cases are seeing a normal seasonal increase, pointing to other common sense measures that can make a difference too.
Keep your distance from them if they're obviously sick. If you're sick, stay at home. Good hand hygiene after you blow your nose particularly.
And while these tips can make an impact, others say an additional layer of protection could save more lives.
Otherwise, our health system will be taxed.
And Mark joins us live outside the Alberta Children's Hospital. So, Mark, how is Alberta Health responding to an increase in flu cases?
Well, Ian, Health Minister Adriana LaGrange says that hospitals like the Alberta Children's and other ones across the province are adapting what they call well-established surge plans to deal with the influx here. They're adding in some sites temporary beds as well as staffing, adjusting spaces as needed, and providing virtual care where kids don't have to be in hospital. They can recover from home. All of that sounds great to some people, but to others, it's still an issue. Frontline workers do tell us that taking a more proactive approach and encouraging vaccination in the first place could help prevent all of this. Ian.
Thank you, Mark. A proposed referendum question about Alberta's separation has been deemed unconstitutional. The question asks if the province of Alberta should become a sovereign country and cease to be a province in Canada. In his ruling, Justice Colin Feasby says the question goes against charter and treaty rights. His decision comes one day after the province introduced legislation to allow referendum petitions to proceed regardless of whether they violate the Constitution. Feasby says changing the rules midstream undermines democracy democracy and the administration of justice. 4 more MLAs are facing recall petitions, including an NDP MLA. 2 more cabinet ministers are added to the recall list, Adriana LaGrange and Tanya Furr. The lone NDP MLA facing recall is Amanda Chapman. The petitioner's statement claims Chapman backs unions over the real priorities for Calgary-Beddington. 18 MLAs are now facing recall. The province hasn't made any changes to that legislation yet, but it has tabled some for citizen referendum petitions. Calgary police have charged a man after 2 Teslas were torched last spring. In March, a Tesla was set on fire at a charging station on 12th Avenue Southeast. The following evening, a Cybertruck at a Tesla storage lot was found burning. At the time, police released photos of a man they were looking for. Investigators say his DNA was found at the scene of one of the fires. 38-year-old Kurt Mayville is now charged with 2 counts of arson. And up and down 2025 for the Canadian economy appears to be ending on an up note. Statistics Canada says job numbers in November were stronger than expected, thanks to growth in a few key sectors. Tim Brooke has more on the data and what it means for Alberta.
Canada's labour market is showing some signs of life.
We had a much stronger jobs report than we were expecting and starting to be a bit of a trend. We see unemployment rate coming down, and it really is being led by Alberta.
There's reason for optimism nationally, especially here in Alberta, where that unemployment rate fell 1.3% and jobs were added to a stabilizing market. Jobs like the one Michael Merritt starts Monday.
There was a lot of silence for a while, and then now I get about a rejection a day from something that I can't even remember if I applied to it a month ago.
Merritt's 3-month job search was far from fun, though he says he now knows work is out there.
You just have to persevere. It's not fun, and it's quite demoralizing, but I suppose the more job applications you put in, the more response you're going to get out.
Things are looking up, helped by gains in industries like healthcare and accommodation. Even Alberta's much publicized youth unemployment rate is creeping back down to the national average.
And it was a perfect storm for youth because you had, a surge of migration to Alberta, very, very much focused on young people coming to the province. And they were competing over few jobs.
We're also seeing a tremendous amount of contracts and temporary employees because there's less risk for an organization to go that route versus hiring someone full-time permanently and then needing to lay them off in 3-6 months down the way.
For now, thanks to recent gains, Canadian economists are almost unanimously predicting the central bank will hold its benchmark rates next week.
And Tim joins us with more on this. And Tim, economists will be watching a few industries closely.
Well, specifically, Ian, they want to see a pickup in some of those goods-producing sectors like manufacturing, oil and gas. Now, it's still too early to build that MOU with the feds into any sort of jobs forecast, but it's safe to assume, as always, that a strong energy sector is good news for both Alberta's and Canada's labour markets. Ian, it'll all just be another thing to keep a close eye on as we head into 2026.
Absolutely. Thank you, Tim. Calgary business groups call the new city budget disappointing and costly. A cancelled tax shift would have given businesses thousands of dollars in relief, but now they'll feel the pinch in 2026. Calgary's mayor defends the move, calling it the most business-friendly budget in a decade. Jordan Canagan reports.
Calgary Council brought down a planned tax increase in 2026, but businesses say it comes at a cost to them.
We're disappointed. We would have liked to see City Council continue with what had been previously approved in prior budget.
Definitely disappointed to see Council cancel the 1% planned property tax shift.
Canceling a planned tax shift from businesses to homes shaved off 2% from next year's residential property tax.
Businesses would have saved $2,150, and households would have paid $50 a year. So that's the balance.
An imbalance that has non-residential properties paying 4.6 times more property tax than residential in Calgary.
It's going to create increased costs for businesses in the new year, and it's really just not something that small businesses need to deal with right now.
while the Chamber of Commerce says it makes our city less competitive and more expensive. The mayor disagrees.
This is the most business-friendly budget that Calgary City Council has passed in the past 10 years.
He says investments in public safety downtown and transit throughout the city is what businesses wanted, and a tax shift will happen in 2027 and beyond, though much slower.
It provides the certainty, the predictability of the tax shift going into the future, and 2-point shift in property tax burden, far in excess of the 1% that they were asking for, albeit over a little bit of a longer time frame.
Jordan Cadigan, CTV News, Calgary.
And the tax shift that was eventually passed by council will happen over an 8-year period. It'll be a 0.25% shift each year starting in 2027. Calgary's mayor traded in boardrooms for board games to kick off a local campaign. Jeremy Farkas starting the annual Support Local campaign at Level Up on International Avenue. The campaign promotes choosing local stores and restaurants during the holiday season. The mayor says there's a lot of great things you can find in a small business you won't find online.
Support Local is about making it easier than ever for Calgarians to experience all of the amazing programming, but also the really cool stuff that are on the store shelves.
This is the 7th year of the Support Local campaign.
You're watching CTV News, Calgary.
It's beginning to look a lot like ski season, especially at Canada Olympic Park, which is now open. The Day Lodge has been undergoing a $40 million renovation to create a bigger deck and improve the interior. It is now open. Both chairlifts will be running, as well as the entire beginner park and all magic carpets. Snow school programs also get underway today and are ideal for anyone looking to build their base of knowledge and skills on the snow. With all of the changes, people might find they have to look a little harder to find familiar services, but Winsport says it's still working out the bugs.
We're preaching patience. This is a new project for us. So, we have to take our time, realize where the blind spots are, and make sure that we get those fixed. And, that sometimes that means signage, sometimes that means educating our team and educating the guests.
Tickets are now available for specific sessions at the Service Tube Park before sliding starts on Saturday, December 20th. And Gina, I would suspect that the skiers and snowboarders will be quite happy with your forecast this weekend.
Oh yeah, they're looking outside right now and seeing that snow fall, and I'm sure they are delighted because we have some cold temperatures that'll actually allow that snow to stay on the ground and build in volume. So great news for ski conditions. -10 right now. Hard to see the snow falling in this shot here, but I did the old eyeball test and looked outside one of the windows here by the studio. Definitely falling right now in a decent amount. We have some freezing fog advisories we'll talk about in our next hit, and taking a look at the next 24 hours, we'll likely start to see this snow end about 6 o'clock in the morning. Pretty cold night ahead of us, and tomorrow afternoon looking chilly as well.
Thank you, Gina. A Calgary wildlife photographer captured an incredible image of a rare owl species that doesn't normally live in Alberta, let alone a city park. But its appearance has one expert worried. Jacqueline Wilson reports.
I think my head almost exploded. It was actually mind-boggling.
It was a moment wildlife photographer Brendan Clark will never forget. The first time he saw a barn owl.
I was watching a different species of owl. Wasn't even looking in the same direction, but I noticed a couple other birds spook whatever it was that came out. And then as it went over my head, it looked right in my face, and they have very distinct eyes, right? So as soon as I saw it, I knew it was a barn owl. It was insane.
A very rare sighting for a park in South Calgary, considering barn owls normally live in southern parts of BC and Ontario and are considered threatened and endangered in those regions, respectively. Wildlife biologist David Bird believes the owl came from our western neighbor.
Barn owls are absolutely an amazing species. They've been featured in a lot of classical laboratory studies because of their hearing ability. They have ear holes in their skull that are offset, so that the sound waves from a squeaky mouse, for example, reach one side of the face faster than the other, which means that the owl can quickly triangulate on where the rodent is.
They may have epic hearing, but unfortunately they aren't equipped to handle prairie winters or hunt in deep snow.
The chances of this poor barn owl making it through the winter in a place like Calgary is very, very slim.
It's a sad reality, and hopefully the owl has flown to a warmer place. It makes the moment with Clark even more fleeting.
For it to just randomly show up in a park in Alberta was pretty shocking and cool. That was really cool.
Clark hopes his luck continues and has his sights set on finding a boreal owl next. Jacqueline Wilson, CTV News, Calgary.
There's lots of anticipation for the World Cup next year. Next, the draw is made for the event, including Canada's competition in Toronto and Vancouver. And new research from the University of Calgary on treating migraine headaches. The eyes of the sports world were fixed on Washington, D.C. today. The 2026 FIFA World Cup draw took place at the Kennedy Center. The star-studded affair featured actors and models, singers, and athletes from all walks of life, including Wayne Gretzky, and the leaders of the co-hosts, Canada, the U.S., and Mexico. Paul Hollingsworth has the details on who Canada will play in the big tournament.
48 teams, 12 groups of 4. Switzerland and Qatar will battle Canada in Group B. The 4th team in Canada's group will be determined based on the winner of an upcoming pre-World Cup playoff.
Between Italy, Northern Ireland, Wales, Bosnia, and Herzegovina.
As a host country, Canada automatically qualified for the World Cup and are ranked 27th in the world. With the complexion of their group competition taking shape, Canada now looks ahead to the World Cup, hoping to win a tournament game for the first time ever, and it won't be easy.
Well, obviously they got the toughest pot 4 team. We know that. We don't know who it's going to be, but thinking of it being a European team, and it could be Italy themselves, it makes it an extremely difficult game. But what an exciting match we're going to get in Toronto.
I think the highlight is absolutely Qatar.
Canada will play its first home match June 12th in Toronto before shifting to Vancouver for matches on June 18th and 24th. FIFA will unveil its full match schedule on Saturday, announcing all the games being played in Canada. Paul Hollingsworth, CTV News, Washington.
And soccer fans in Calgary gathered for a World Cup draw watch party. Fans packed the Elephant and Castle pub in the Beltline to watch the draw from Washington, D.C., live on TSN. The local event was hosted by Cavalry FC, Calgary's pro team in the Canadian Premier League. Fans were on pins and needles waiting to see who Canada would play, and they're excited for next summer's big event.
Oh, I'm so excited. We have a game. We're going to a game in Seattle. I bought my boyfriend tickets for his Christmas presents.
The world's biggest teams are all going to be coming here. The best athletes in the world are all going to be coming here.
Go Canada!
Fans at the party say they believe Canada has a good chance to advance from its group after the tournament's opening round robin.
This is CTV News, Calgary.
You know, Gina, every time it snows, I just hope people get home safely.
Yes, and even today, I finally got my car in for servicing, getting the winter tires on, so had to rely on ride share, and had the most wonderful driver, Yashpal Chauhan, who, again, just showing that appreciation for all those drivers out there getting us around safely in these conditions. So looking at the conditions right now, not ideal out there. We're seeing a bit of improvement when it comes to visibility, but still a lot of snow falling this hour. So our local roads are definitely slippery at the moment, and temperatures are just getting cooler and cooler out there. So it will freeze overnight, a lot of this precipitation. So again, better late than never with the winter tires. I'll be benefiting from them tomorrow when I get my vehicle, and it's going to be chilly tomorrow too. So winter weather and winter driving is here to stay. Right now, -10 for Calgary, same in Brooks and Medicine Hat, central Alberta, even a little bit cooler in the -teens currently. Looking ahead to tomorrow, it's going to be a little icy as well with a high of just -9, but we should start to see this fog advisory lift in the next couple of hours. Right now, we're under a yellow level fog advisory for Calgary, Chestermere, Cochrane, and Okotoks. So driving conditions, like I've been saying repeatedly, not ideal right now. And we're dealing with a little bit of snow as well. This is what we're dealing with in Calgary. Lethbridge seeing a good amount of snowfall for the next couple of hours hours here. It could be between 5 to 10 centimeters for Lethbridge overnight, while for us in Calgary that we're seeing in red there, more so about 2 to 4 centimeters we're anticipating. But still, that makes an impact with these cold temperatures as well. So just be cautious out there with those driving conditions. We'll start to see a little bit of improvement on your Action Furnace 5-day forecast here. Starting on Sunday, that's when we get a bit of a transition in the jet stream, so that'll allow us to get to a high of -1. Chinook setup in store for Monday, so strong westerly winds will help us get back into the positives for a day there with a high of 3 degrees. And then we continue to see a little bit more stability on Tuesday. High of 0, low of -7, but a nice amount of sunshine expected throughout Tuesday and even into Wednesday as well. Most of the day should be pretty good, but you'll see those clouds building in the afternoon. By midweek there, flurries likely overnight, and then we'll transition back into some more cold weather in the back half of the work week. I'll talk about that more in our next hit in about 20 minutes. Right now, Toy Mountain rounds off the week with 2 donations today. This morning, Country Hills and South Point Toyota together donated $10,000 in support of Fear is Not Love. And students of the North Trail High School Key Club handed over $1,000 from their fundraising efforts. So far, we've collected just over 2,300 toys with a cash value of more than $368,000. Cash donations like these support free programs offered by Fear is Not Love, like men's counseling.
Allows us to keep the program free. It is a free service. We do hire educated, qualified staff. We also use gift-in-kind donations, toys from Toy Mountain to allow our clients to take something home to their kids.
And we need your help in building the biggest Toy Mountain yet. You can make a cash donation online through our website or drop off your new unwrapped toys and essential items to any of our drop-off locations. For a full list, visit ctvcalgary.ca.
Thank you, Gina. A report involving the University of Calgary has new insight on treating severe migraines in hospital.
Our guidelines from 2016 didn't speak to any type of nerve block with local anesthetics, and there's a variety of new treatments that are covered. Lots of changes in 10 years in medicine. Thankfully, our field moves quickly, and which is great for patients.
The report by the university and the Barrow Neurological Institute in Phoenix finds occipital nerve blocks should be considered in emergency departments to treat acute migraine attacks. There was no recommendation before leading hospitals to use medications like addictive opioids. The recommendation of nerve blockers is part of a new update to the American Headache Society's guidelines. Today's World Cup event today was a good excuse for the Prime Minister to get together with his U.S. and Mexican counterparts. Still ahead, how long the 3 leaders spent discussing ideas off the soccer pitch. And the U.S. or Sweden? Ottawa takes a closer look at where it should buy fighter jets from. Returning now to the FIFA World Cup draw, the leaders of Canada, the United States, and Mexico all helped kick off the main event at today's ceremony in Washington.
Oh, Canada! Oh, congratulations. Canada, ladies and gentlemen, the first team drawn.
Also on stage were Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum and U.S. President Donald Trump, who drew the names of their respective countries. While soccer was the focus in public, the Prime Minister's office says the 3 leaders also held a private meeting without staff present. The meeting lasted about 45 minutes. Trump had said he expected to discuss immigration and trade just as the countries prepare for a formal review of their free trade deal next year. The federal government continues to wrestle with the decision to buy new fighter jets for Canada's military. Trade tensions with the United States have led to Canada considering the purchase from Europe instead. Rachel Aiello has the details on a new poll showing what matters most to Canadians as Ottawa considers its options.
As the Canadian government contemplates following through on its procurement of Lockheed Martin's F-35s or diversifying the Air Force's fleet by also acquiring Swedish company Saab's Gripen E fighters, a nano survey about procurement priorities is shedding new light on what Canadians think is most important. 40% said having the fighter jet that is the best solution. 28% said picking the jet that generates the most Canadian jobs. 18% said defense cooperation with Europe was the most important factor. Double the number of Canadians who said cooperation with the U.S. was key. And just 2% of those surveyed said the government should pick the lowest cost option.
What this shows is that if the government decides to change tact, it's actually going to have to explain why.
A recently leaked procurement document revealed the F-35 scored higher than the Gripen across a range of military and technical performance categories.
In your report and recommendations to the Prime Minister in this review, did you let him know that the F-35 beat the Gripen by a mile?
The review continues, and it will continue until it's complete. And I am quite sure that the kinds of metrics you're alluding to and referring to will find their way into the final report.
Experts say while the F-35 may be the better choice to maintain interoperability with the Americans, a diversified fleet compatible with more countries could also be to Canada's advantage. Even as critics suggest Saab's pledge to create 10,000 jobs in Canada is unrealistic.
There is no single best jet. It depends on the missions.
The defense minister hasn't committed to a deadline for when the government will decide what fighter jets will make up the fleet, replacing Canada's aging CF-18s. Rachel Aiello, CTV News, Ottawa.
Canada currently has 89 CF-18s in service. They were bought in the early 1980s. Still to come, a new winter attraction was unveiled at Heritage Park today. All aboard the newly restored locomotive, rolling in just in time for the holidays. A new addition to Heritage Park will get people moving this Christmas. Premier Daniel Smith joins city, provincial, and federal politicians to celebrate the moment. It's the first new locomotive to join Heritage Park's collection in nearly 60 years, thanks to support from all three levels of government. Though it's called the Heritage Holiday Train, it will operate year-round, the first time the park has done so.
We just want to get a year-round destination for people to come enjoy. I mean, this is part of history. Alberta has always been cold for many, many months, so this is nothing better than tell a story of how the prairies lived back in early 1900s.
The train will make its public debut tomorrow during the park's holiday experience, Once Upon a Christmas. A baby seal walks into a bar. No, it's not the start of a joke. It actually happened earlier this week in New Zealand. The seal wandered into this craft brew pub. The pub is dog-friendly, so at first the owner thought it might have been a dog, but the seal made its way into the washroom. It was given some salmon to keep it happy while everyone waited for conservation officers to arrive. They did, put it into this dog kennel and took it away to be released in an environment that's more suited to seals.
I thought I was just going in for a drink.
And why not?
I mean, you know.
I did hear, aren't seals also called sea dogs too? Isn't there like a hockey team with that name or something?
The St. John Sea Dogs.
There you go. Good pull.
I think. Well, here's another animal that cannot be contained.
What the heck?
The video of this pug moving from room to room in its playpen has gone viral, viewed by nearly 5 million people. The dog doesn't seem to mind, apparently enjoying this unique way of getting around.
Okay, it looks a lot more like a Tasmanian devil to me.
Seriously.
Now, does he want to get out of there? Does he want
I
to
think he's
sneak
having
out,
a great time.
Yeah, he's enjoying himself.
Gonna find a bar, have a drink with the seal.
There you
Exactly.
go.
Lots of fun there. An art exhibit in Miami is a big hit thanks to its unique take on tech billionaires.
And we're increasingly seeing the world through the lens of how they would like us to see it, because they control these very powerful algorithms, and they have unilateral control over how we see the world in many ways.
That is Beeple, the artist who put the regular animals exhibit together. It features robotic dogs with the faces of Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos, and others, along with Pablo Picasso and Andy Warhol. And yes, the dogs are pooping out photos. Yep. Which ties in with Beeple's theme about imagery and control over what we all see online.
Huh. Very thought-provoking.
Yes, they call that,
right?
I believe they call that high concept.
Yes,
it
a
has
little
you
above my
thinking.
head.
Very thought-provoking there. Well, a high-profile entertainment deal announced today. Netflix is moving to acquire Warner Brothers in a multi-billion-dollar deal. Details in our business reports.
Well, this is a look outside right now through our Skywatch weather camera. Visibility still not great. At the surface, it's probably a little bit better, but still contending with mixed precipitation falling to the ground right now. Mostly is snow, wet snow, maybe a little bit of rain as well. At least earlier in the day, that's what we were seeing. Temperature right now is -10 currently, so it's chilly out there. We did manage to crack into the positives earlier today to 1 degree for your high. But when I say early, I mean around 5 o'clock this morning when most of us were still asleep, so we didn't really get to enjoy the positive temperatures. We're just in the thick of that cooling trend right now. Winds are starting to pick up out there too, so it's making it feel even colder. Right now we're seeing an easterly wind at around 17 kilometers an hour. What that wind has helped with, though, is get us out of that freezing fog advisory that the city and surrounding area was enveloped in just 20 minutes ago. It was much of the afternoon we were seeing that freezing fog out there because of those calm winds. So starting to see a bit of a shake up in the weather pattern here and a little bit more snow moving in, especially along Highway 2 south of the city. You're probably experiencing more heavy snow right now, including the folks that are enjoying that parade, that Christmas parade in High River. So just bundle up and enjoy the conditions out there and be safe out on the roads. We're going to have a cool day tomorrow throughout southern Alberta, but start to pick up gradually back into more favorable temperatures as we get into Sunday and Monday. You'll notice even areas like Pincher Creek getting that windy icon by Sunday and Monday there. That's due to some Chinook winds that'll move in. So that'll help warm us up for a few days before we transition back into some colder temperatures. Taking a look at your 24-hour forecast brought to you by Action Furnace. Fixed right or it's free. Low of -13 tonight. Snow wrapping up at around 6 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Thanks, Gina. Health officials are urging Albertans to get vaccinated against the flu as cases surge. Alberta has had more than 2,000 lab-confirmed cases of influenza so far this season, with over 500 hospitalizations and 15 deaths. Canada's labour market is showing some positive signs. Alberta is giving the stats a boost, with the unemployment rate falling, adding more part-time jobs in healthcare and the accommodation industry. Calgary's Chamber of Commerce says canceling the property tax shift from businesses to homeowners is a bad move. Council made the move to ease the tax hike for homeowners. Typical digital maps we use every day are based on a model that represents the Earth as flat. A University of Calgary computer science professor set out to change that 15 years ago. Now he's being recognized nationally for creating a 3D digital mapping system. Kevin Fleming reports.
He's created a way to digitally map the Earth based on its curved surface, called a discrete global grid system. And Faramar Samawarti says other digital mapping systems are based on a flat Earth that distorts the image and the data.
For example, Greenland in the map looks much bigger than Brazil, but in reality, it is smaller. When we take this on the curved Earth, we can see the right kind of size of the Greenland versus Brazil, and we can avoid this kind of distortions.
His new grid system is like a quilt over the Earth, and it was noticed by MyTax, where he was awarded its Innovation Award for Outstanding Research Leadership. The new system gathers a vast amount of data, and the team has to find a way to make it quickly accessible or run the risk of it never being used. Lake and Wecker's task was to shave nanoseconds off that process, and 1 second equals 1 billion nanoseconds.
And although that seems like a pointless endeavor for most people, the size of data that the Earth is, or that humanity is producing about the Earth is so large that we have billions and trillions of records, and suddenly that becomes super relevant, because if you save that extra few nanoseconds per record and you do it 300 billion times, now it's actually a realistic savings.
Sam Mawarty has partnered with Big Geo, a Calgary-based startup with a goal of making geospatial intelligence accessible to everyone. Brent Lane says the speed of the system means it's more economical for clients to solve a problem because less electricity will be used.
The interesting part about working with spatial information is it's for everybody. You know, it's a cross-cutting data attribute, so it works across all industries, energy, mining, manufacturing, right down to consumer product goods.
Sam Mawarty's goal is to one day produce a digital twin of the Earth to better understand what's happening on the planet. Kevin Fleming, CTV News, Calgary.
Legendary Canadian architect Frank Gehry has died. Gehry is one of the most famous architects in the world. He's known for helping to transform contemporary architecture through an innovative use of materials, design, and form. The Toronto-born architect's first building in Canada was the Art Gallery of Ontario, but examples of his work are found all across the globe. Gehry was 96. A blockbuster entertainment deal is shaking up Hollywood. BNN Bloomberg's Mirella Fernandez has more.
The world's largest streaming company is buying one of North America's oldest entertainment studios for almost $83 billion US. If approved, Netflix would be a behemoth, picking up a deep trove of famous Hollywood movies and shows from Casablanca and Gone with the Wind to the Harry Potter series and Superman. The deal with Warner Brothers Discovery will be scrutinized by U.S. regulators, and some say they may not approve of the agreement. Warner Brothers Discovery also owns a cable unit that runs CNN and TNT. It isn't part of the Netflix deal. In another surprise, almost 54,000 jobs were added to the Canadian economy in November. Experts had predicted job losses. That took the unemployment rate to 6.5%. More young Canadians are finding jobs, which builds on the start of a turnaround for that group. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar is up to $72.31. West Texas Intermediate crude is up to over $60. Western Canadian Select is up to $46.36. And the TSX lost 166 points to end the day at 31,311. Those are your business headlines. I'm Mirella Fernandez.
Santa Claus is in High River tonight, and the whole town is out to see him. As you can see, it looks a lot like Christmas. It's snowing and chilly, and there's a very large crowd lining Main Street. This is the 40th annual Santa Claus Parade, and there are dozens of floats this year. A film crew is there, too, shooting the celebration as part of a Netflix production. Well, Fridays are always better when you get a special guest at school. The UFC Dinos dropped by a Calgary school today for a volleyball clinic. Glenn is up next. Production of the Olympic medals is underway in Italy leading up to the Winter Games in February. Machines are running all day to create 1,100 gold, silver, and bronze medals at the Italian State Mint. Each gold medal will contain over $800 worth of gold. The Calgary Flames returned home last night. Glenn is back with us. And Glenn, the Flames are looking to bounce back from a tough loss in Nashville.
Ian, that game in Nashville to end the road trip was one of their worst of the season. Last night they were taking on the Minnesota Wild, a team that hadn't lost a game in regulation in nearly a month. But it's the Flames who open up the score in this game, and boy, did Jonathan Huberdeau ever need this goal. He gets the rebound in front, buries it, 1-0 for the Flames. Dustin Wolf back in goal for the Flames. He was excellent. Best save comes here in the second period. Somehow Wolf gets a pat on it. Nazem Kadri able to bat it away to keep it a 1-0 game. A third period now, game tied at 1. Morgan Frost over to Matt Coronado. He will fire it past Philip Gustafsson, his 9th of the season. Flames regain the lead. It's 2-1. Later in the third, great passing play. Michael Backlund over to Blake Coleman. What a pass here to set up Connor Zary, and he tucks it past Gustafsson. 3rd of the season, big goal for the Flames. 3-1 at that point. They go on to win this one 4-1.
I've been getting chances, so I think just being around the net, you're going to get rewarded. So that's what happened tonight. But I thought it was a great team effort. So the guys play well.
It's nice to score. It's always good to get on the scoreboard and try and do things to help the team. I think my mom came for the first time in a little bit here, so I kind of give it to her that I scored for her. So that was nice.
I've had probably about a week to just kind of work and grind and get my game where I want it to be, and just happy to get back in there and feel good about my game.
The Flames continue their homestand tomorrow night as they're at home to the Utah Mammoth. Puck drop for that game a little after 5 o'clock. Well, Canada's top diving athletes here in Calgary this week. They're here for the Winter National Championships at Brookfield Residential YMCA in Seton. The athletes are competing in the 1 meter, 3 meter, and 10 meter events with one goal in mind, and that's the national title. Let's check out the women's 1 meter. This is Calgary's Daniela Derveska, and she would end up in 6th place. The winner of the women's 1 meter was Emily Laura Jasmine out of Montreal, Quebec. She put together 6 strong dives for the victory. This is the first major competition of the season. The Winter Nationals will also serve as the official selection meet for the athletes who will represent Canada at international events this winter. The event started today, wraps up on Sunday. The U of C men's volleyball team was out in the community this afternoon for a great cause. The Dinos visited Dr. Gordon Higgins Junior High School to give the kids a clinic. This is all about these athletes giving something back to these students and teaching them the finer points of volleyball. And for the kids, this was an exciting afternoon. For the Dinos, a chance to perhaps introduce them to a sport they're not too familiar with. Graham Vigras is an Olympian and now the head coach of the Dinos men's volleyball team.
Some communities like this doesn't have the same opportunity to come to some Dino games and watch volleyball. And we've got 15 role models at the university that I think have a ton of value, and they can share their story and help out in many places in the city.
Like meeting the players on the team and playing with them and getting advice from them. It's an honor to work with them and developing our skills in volleyball, because not a lot of people get this chance. It's like a big deal here. I thought it would be fun to join and learn and get more knowledge.
I want to learn how to be better at the sport and how to serve, basics.
School sports is a big deal here, so in having the Dinos come in, especially with the volleyball season right around the corner, what an incredible opportunity, whether you are a well-versed volleyball player in our school or you're new with developing skills.
The Dinos are also hoping this will lead to some of the students checking out the University of Calgary to watch a game or two and perhaps become a student down the road. Great idea, I'd say.
I'm sure those students will remember that experience for a long time.
100%, yeah.
The day the really tall guys came to their gym. Okay, Gina, how are we looking with the snow right now?
It's still falling down out there, and I want to stay on the student trend because we actually had a bunch of young students come to the weather studio this week, and they drew us some of their depictions of the weather forecast. So I have one from a student here at Ranch View School for your weather window, brought to you by Lux Windows and Doors, crafting quality windows and doors for your style, budget, and Alberta's climate. Yes, they're depicting a very rare weather phenomena here, a taco tornado.
Gotta watch those.
Yes, you gotta watch out and definitely bring your appetite when they come around. But again, very rare here. What's not so rare is the cold weather that will stick around for tomorrow. The snow will subside probably around 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, but mainly cloudy for Saturday. Wind chill making it feel like -18 out there. But we get a bit of that sunshine back on tap starting on Sunday.
All right. Gina, thanks very much. Thank you for joining us. Have a great night.